Hello YouTube Nation, welcome back to the Amateur Travelers channel, vlog day number 2. Hope everybody enjoyed yesterday's video about Flight 93. That was on our travels. That was fun to go do that. Very daunting, very harrowing, and very grounding experience to see that. So if you haven't checked out that video, go check out that video. Today's adventures, we're just on another walk. We're gonna go through some wooded areas, but it's kind of a path. It's not really like we're not trekking through anything like this anytime soon. It's still snake and tick season, so I try to stay out of the woods as much as humanly possible. I've got my hat on. Today, what is today? Today is July 24th. 2024. Just a fun little day. Hope you'll come along with me. Gonna have a chat about some stuff just to get some things out into the world. It's nice for me to talk about stuff, and hopefully you'll see some sights that are cool. Enjoy. The old saying here in Indiana is that your corn should be knee-high by the 4th of July. Well, we're almost to August because it's late July right now, and if you will, that corn is as tall as me. So it's not knee high by the 4th of July, it's Jeremy high by August. It's grown quite a bit. Indiana, boy, we sure do have a lot of corn. But this is the path that we're going to go down today. Golf carts beyond this point. It's a walking trail. Can't have cars or anything, and I'll show you why here in a second. But it's a natural trail, no passenger vehicles, which is not true at all, because there are a lot of vehicles kind of side-by-sides, kind of I don't know, off-roading vehicles that will come through here. This is one of my favorite places to walk. It reminds me of Lost a lot. So if you remember the TV show Lost, it was one of my favorites. Plane crashes on a weird island, and it has a lot of looks like this. It's just overgrown, but there was a lot of light coming through it. So anytime I'm walking, driving through here, it really just makes me think of the show Lost. It's a cool canopy. Right now, it's in the low to mid 90s. It's hot out today. I've got a pretty good lather of sweat going on. This beard has got to come. It's starting to get to the itchy phase, and I cannot be bothered by buying beard products and all that good stuff. But when you're in here, it takes a good 10 degrees off of the temperature, and it's real nice. It's nice and shady. Let's see, we've seen deer and whatnot come through here, but it's just peaceful as you hear the insects. Pretty peaceful terrain. It's nice to be able to come through and do this. On today's vlog, one of the things I would like to talk about is a little bit of a stress factor that's going on in my life. So I mentioned the other day that I am a teacher. I teach special education in a public school setting, and I love it. I love being around the kids. I love being able to teach. I love being able to watch them grow. And I'm almost through a transition to teaching thing, and I'm having to take these tests. And I am the world's worst test taker. And I've got one coming up, and I've got to pass it. I've got to pass one test in a year to be able to keep my license, which doesn't sound like all that much, but for somebody who stinks terribly at taking tests, it really does kind of affect your mentality. So these walks and talking on the vlog is going to help me kind of get through that, and then hopefully once I pass through all that, any other stresses and stuff that may happen will come and go. Any of you all got any stresses? Down below, comment. Maybe we can work through these things together. I don't know. It's on my mind heavily, but at least a nice walk gets us through in the big bush here. Now, the one thing, we're getting ready to cross this bridge. This is a golf cart bridge. It's anything that's this little that could come across it. Old iron bridge. But this is just a little canal, a little creek. Comes off the Ohio River from that way. And comes back in this way. And goes on to somewhere and somewhere. I think this is kind of cool. They have some logs that you could see down there. They're in there. See the fish. There's a canoe that came for the flood. So during the Ohio River rainy seasons, the fall and the winter, this will get flooded to where what I'm standing on right now is underwater for most of the season, maybe half of the season. And to think that that little bit of water that's probably, I don't know, a 10-foot drop comes this high is pretty crazy. So this canoe came in and it got pinned up against this, as you could see, and it got cut in half. And that is where it lies. It was laying up there beautifully, but it just lays there now, and the river giveth, the river taketh. But big old cobwebs. But it's a neat little bridge that's on this little walk. Now we got a big hill ahead of us, so I'm not going to let you all have the terror of hearing me pant up this hill. So I'll see you on the other side of the hill. Okay, so I was going to come, but my biggest fear in life is happening right now, and I'm paralyzed from the knees down. I don't know if you could see that thing, but that right there is a snake sunning itself. I hate it. I'm gonna leave that thing alone. Don't know what kind it is. I'm sure it's very harmless, but to me, that is a boa constrictor combined with the deadly python of a king cobra. And so we will be retreating very prominently this way, so I do not have to deal with that kind of a snake. Petrified, literally palms sweaty. I hate them, don't like them. I'll be taking a look backwards to make sure that thing doesn't move. If it comes moving at me, I mean, I've got the hair on my arms are standing up of just not petrified, not like scared to death, but I don't want to deal with that at all. So I will retreat. We will figure out another way of the path today, because I will walk 4 miles away to make sure that snake that I think I still see up there is gone. Weirdly enough, I've walked this trail several 100 times. That's the second snake I've ever seen, and one of them I was on a golf cart driving through and saw one. That's the first snake I've ever seen on my trail here. So, whew, got the heart beating. A little petrified of that. Don't like it. Don't like it at all. But again, you got to take the bad. And snakes aren't bad. They have their place. And I'm walking in its spot here. It's not like he decided to come in and sit on my couch and watch Netflix or anything, but I am in his territory, so I'm not going to shoo it. I'm not going to do anything for it. Just going to walk very fast the other way. Whew. Heart's still going pretty good. Whew. All right, coming out of the end there, still heart racing after seeing that snake. I do have something planned different than the trails here for tomorrow. I've got to go kind of in town, so I'm going to go into New Albany, Indiana, and I'm going to show you one of my favorite little sites that are down there. We're going to walk around. I had a video about Rec Bar 812, which is a vintage arcade. I'm going to be ending up walking down there for that. Down that area. Definitely not going to go to the arcade. Don't have time to do that. But for the walk tomorrow, kind of show you one of the downtown areas as we look at the corn again. Big corn. It's starting to sprout, which I don't know anything about corn. So I don't know if that's eating corn. I don't know if that's feeding corn. I don't know if it's decorative corn. I just know that it's some sort of corn. A farmer I am not. But I do know that is big corn. There's a telephone pole, or a light pole, to kind of, I mean, that corn is 7-8 foot tall at the peak right there. Big corn. Mountains in the background. And our neighborhood horses. I think their name are Prince and Princess, but me and the family, we call them Whippet Nene. Whippet's on the left, Nene on the right. Again, we're back on the walking trail that we were on a couple days ago. Hopefully no snakes on this side, but we'll see some ponds and stuff. Once again, one of the other things I wanted to talk about today was just life in general, of kind of the stress and the importance of, for me, making like a list. So today I have a list, you know, study. I don't have a list of brushing my teeth or flossing or doing anything that's a daily activity as such. I think I've got those pretty much down. But for me, with getting things done in a timely manner, and we all live in a world of absolute just rush, and we've got to do this and we've got to do that, and I think we feel the more rushed and the more we've got going on in our lives, the more important it is. I think there's such a thing as just taking your time and make a list. If you need to say something about working out, write it on the list. I feel, and I have found, that as long as I have a to-do list every day, I get almost everything done. You see the big turtle jump right there. I don't know if that was in or not. But for me, it's nice to have a list. It's nice to check it off. It feels accomplishing. It makes sure I'm staying to the tasks and that I have everything done that I should have done, which is nice. And it just makes me feel good at the end of the day. And maybe it's something you should try. Maybe try, I've been doing lists for a while, but if you give a good list of stuff, 7 days or so, give it 7-10 days and see if you're getting more accomplished. Again, you don't need to wake up, brush teeth, get dressed. I mean, those are things, hopefully you're doing those every single day. But if you want to play 20 minutes of a video game, write down 20 minutes of a video game. Cut down on eating bad foods, write down what you're gonna eat. It's a neat asset to have, is just a small list on a piece of paper. Cheap too. I don't know, do you all have anything? Because I'm always looking for tips and tidbits to make life a little easier. It's hard as hell to do this the way it is. So if you've got a little tip or something, be sure to let me know about it. Today's been fun. Enjoy. See you next time.